fans out there. An embarrassment today, which, what else is new, man? We've been doing this for 30, 40 years, whatever it is. Drubbing from beginning to end. I think early on it looked like McDaniel really had studied the Ravens defense and knew what to do, how to attack it. Momentum really shifted and started to really not look good once Tyreek Hill just inexplicably just dropped a short touchdown pass. It was a short touchdown pass. He absolutely dropped it. No excuse for it. You know, you're getting paid $30 million a year. You're a superstar player, and you're dropping easy touchdown passes. Just not good. The defense was terrible from front to back. Recovered a fumble. That Tua then threw an interception right after that. So that was great. Tua completely outplayed by Lamar Jackson. All this nonsense. You got guys like Big O out here talking nonsense about Lamar Jackson all the time. He's not a real quarterback. He's not a thrower. You know what, Big O? Take a hike, bro. Take a hike as usual. Lamar Jackson completely outplayed Tua. Tua, 2 interceptions. To his credit, he should have had another touchdown pass to Chase Claypool, who also dropped a touchdown pass. Should have had a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. I don't think Tua played terribly. I don't think he played good. I think he's just a guy. He's just still meh. He's mid. When in these big games, he doesn't come through. You know, he could keep his receipts all he wants. He could be salty all he wants. Well, I'm keeping receipts too. And this team is it's not a championship team. It's not a championship caliber team. That's that. The AFC now goes through Baltimore. And it's going to be hard for anybody to beat Baltimore. They're a very good team. They're playing at a very high level. Lamar Jackson's winning the MVP. That was decided today. And they dismantled San Francisco in San Francisco, which another quarterback similar to Tua, Brock Purdy. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but, you know, in big games, he doesn't do very well. And then I don't know why he was even in the game at the end of the game, and then why he ran and slid, but he's hurt now, and it's his throwing arm. So we may be doing a repeat of next year with Mike White in the wild card round at this point. It's just crazy. It's crazy. So we're headed. I mean, look, and I said this. I said that when we lost that Tennessee game, I was devastated. I went into hiding. I was depressed. People were making fun of me about it when Buffalo beat KC and we lost to Tennessee. But there was a reason for that because I saw this coming. So next week is now the showdown between Buffalo and Miami for the division title. And if you're feeling confident as a Miami fan, man, I envy your optimism because I sure as hell am not feeling confident about that game. Buffalo's been on a roll, even though they haven't played great either. They've been on a much better roll. And we just got, you know, our wheels blown off. How Xaven Howard goes down with a foot injury did not look good because he was carted off the field. And what gets me about that is he was initially declared questionable, but once he got into the locker room and once they did the X-ray, he was declared out of the game. So you got to think X is done for the year. And if X is done for the year, I don't know what we're doing because this defense has been completely terrible all year when you either have Ramsey or you have X out of the game. It's just been terrible. And it was terrible today, once again. So I don't see how we're going to go up against some of the better teams in the league without X. Apple's not going to cut it. Kohu's not going to cut it on the perimeter. These guys are just not going to cut it. And when you don't have good coverage in the secondary, you're not going to get a good pass rush. We've seen it all year. When we have good coverage in the secondary, we get a good pass rush. When we don't have a good coverage in the secondary, we get a bad, we don't get a pass rush. So that's that. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Tua. You know, a guy who really hasn't come through in the biggest games and now really has trouble staying healthy. Once again, it happens again. You got to root for the kid. You got to like him. But it looks like we might have just a repeat of last year. So where do we go from here? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I, for one, am sick and damn tired of it. Sick and damn tired of it. So you start the new year off with what we have started every year off for the last 30 years, and that's that. It's a gloomy day here in New Jersey, and it'll be a gloomy day for me and a gloomy week for us all. Colin Cowherd is going to be out there, gallivanting and enjoying and taking a victory lap, and all those naysayers, and they deserve to, because this team has once again utterly failed. This wasn't just a loss. This was an embarrassment. This was a drubbing. This was a slap in the face, as usual, to the players, to the fans, to everybody else. And this was just a joke. Miami was completely and utterly exposed in this game. Defense was absolutely exposed. Coaching on defense, the secondary on defense, every bit of our defense was just destroyed. Offense, Tyreek gets hobbled again on a bad pass from Tua. Tua had some really nice passes. He had some dimes that guys were just dropping or whatever else is going on. Sorry, there's fireworks or who the hell knows behind me. Just a drubbing. He gets hurt. Mostert's out, and just Tua has some good passes that guys drop, and then he has some absolute knuckle bonehead throws. The throw right after the fumble where we could have changed momentum, he just throws it right into triple coverage, gets picked off. Just not up to snuff. Lamar Jackson was just much better than him today, and the Ravens are much better than us. And that's really it. I don't know what else to say. I know I'm rambling here, but it just looked like every facet of this team, from special teams, Ravens coming out of the half, just running the ball almost all the way, almost the length of the field, when so much is at stake. A division title's at stake. A number 1 seed. I'm not taking anything away from the Ravens because they're good, but this was an embarrassing loss. And Tua didn't come through once again in the clutch. He's outshined once again by a more elite quarterback. The coach is once again, the coach is outcoached. He leaves players in too long. They get hurt. Costs us the rest of the season and the playoff run, most likely. Defensively outcoached. Every facet of the team, just not good enough. I don't know who's going to be excited about watching Hard Knocks, but I sure as hell am not. So next week we got the Bills, and I think this is the downward spiral. I think it's unfortunate we had a season schedule at the end of the season like we did, but that's life. You got to take it as it comes. Losing to the Titans is unacceptable. Unacceptable, and this is what you get when you drop games like that. And when you get embarrassed and you have terrible coaching, terrible playing, terrible execution, terrible showing altogether, this is what happens. I will be very conveniently and happily surprised if we even get one playoff win at this point. There's not a team in the AFC that can't beat us. You hope we wind up going to Jacksonville as opposed to going to somewhere like KC or going to Buffalo or going to Baltimore or going to Cleveland. Well, we're not going to go to Baltimore the first round because they have a bye. But, so you got to hope we go somewhere where it's winnable. But it's the same old, same old. Now, I think the biggest thing about this season is going to be, how do you bring back a lot of the guys that are key components when they're up for free agency? And how do you fill the holes that we have? Because we just couldn't sustain the injuries this year, and we're just not there. We're not good enough. Now, Baltimore, to their credit, they haven't gotten it done in the playoffs, and maybe this year they finally do, so maybe it does take time to get up to that level. But we'll see. We'll see if we can improve. We'll see if Tua can eventually be that upper echelon elite QB. Right now, he's in the top, statistically, regular season guy, but he's not the guy that's going to beat the guys when, rubber meets the road in big games. He's just not going to do it. He has shown us time and 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 time again. And I'm sick of having the debate. I'm not going to have the debate anymore. It just is what it is. Just let it live. If he ever succeeds and gets over the hump, we'll all be happy. And if he doesn't, then we won't. There's no point in arguing anymore. I'm done arguing with people about it. It's not worth arguing about. And it's not worth arguing with me anymore that I'm negative or whatever. I mean, this team is what it is. It's not a championship team. I will be pleasantly very much surprised if they make a run, but I don't see it. So just the disaster of a late season collapse by the Dolphins, which is par for the course. I'm used to it. You're used to it. We're all used to it. We all expected it. We all know it's coming. That's life as being a fan of this team. So strap in for the offseason, and that's that. I'll see if I pop on tomorrow for another, a little bit of a therapy session with you guys. I will be on Tuesday with the guys and the panel, or at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. So join me then. We'll check in on the injuries. We'll check in on what's going on. We'll kind of do a post-mortem because the slow death of the season is coming, guys. It's coming, and we all know it. So try to enjoy the rest of your New Year's Eve. Go get drunk. Go have fun. Do it safely. Watch the ball drop. Do whatever you got to do. Make your resolutions. You know we'll all be back here next September for another go at it. And unfortunately, I think it'll end the same way. But this is where we are. We got 2 games left. Let's see what happens. If anything, it's just fun to watch football. But I don't think it's going to end very well for us. And we got embarrassed today. Hey, what else? I can't even say it's unacceptable anymore. I can't break down any more stats. I can't talk anymore about how we failed. I'm sick of it. I say it every couple weeks. I say it every year. What else am I going to say? That's it. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, please click subscribe for the good of New Year's, for the good of anything. If you love my rants, if you tune in, whether you love me, whether you hate me, whatever it is, if you watch, please hit subscribe. Can we please get to 1,500 subs? Please get to 1,500 subs by the end of tonight. Hit subscribe. At least make tonight worth it for that reason. I love you guys. I hate these type of days. I hated this game. This team makes me sick. I'll talk to you all soon. Larry K. out.